check on stuff. Okay, so of course, over on YouTube, it's still saying that this is a live stream and not breaking the block.
See, on my end on YouTube, it says breaking the block.
Okay, so maybe it's just my page. Anyway, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Breaking the Block with Gremlins.
Yay! Technology!
And the gremlin is mainly me.
I actually don't think that is true.
Because, yeah, Streamlabs is a entirely different beast. Well, not entirely different beast from StreamYard, but we're still learning. So yeah, bear with us.
We've not gone live on your YouTube channel yet.
Oh my gosh. See, it's showing on mine.
Because I have the YouTube stream open and we're still on the holding screen.
Okay, so under mine it still has Right With Me productivity stream. So the breaking the block that it's scheduled is not working. Okay.
I put a note in the chat that we're struggling with Streamlabs.
Okay. Let me do this. It might kick me out of here. I don't know. Oh, Streamlabs.
Okay. Eva and Catbot is here, so.
Okay. Now I can't get back to the actual stream thing.
Okay. Now it says video unavailable.
Of course it does. Okay, so this is going to be so awesome. Alright. Okay. Are we still over here? Okay. So apparently everything is moved over to... Yeah. We're just going to have to figure this all out all over again. This is going to be so much fun. So here is the link. And I will post it in the Instagram chat. Maybe.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all. This is, yeah, like I said, this is like an interesting thing.
Okay. Is it going to create an entirely new stream?
It created an entirely new stream, yeah, it did. So just go back to my channel and then, yeah, it'll be there.
Okay, okay. Well, I had put in the chat that we were struggling with Streamlab, and now the stream is completely gone. So let me go to your channel.
Yeah.
Go to Breaking the Block. All right, here we are.
Okay. Gotta love technology, y'all.
Okay. Hold on.
Echoey with audio.
Am I echoing now? Eva says we're echoing.
Okay.
Why are we echoing?
Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna get a pair of headphones.
All right. Do I had headphones? That would work. Maybe. Possibly.
Okay. Am I echoing now with headphones on?
I didn't hear the echo to begin with, so Eva, if you could let us know. No change with the headphones. Awesome.
So it's a thing with Streamlab. Because I cannot hear the echo. Okay, if I click on the audio for the stream on YouTube, I can hear the.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it says it's different now. Okay, cool.
Only 80 days till Christmas. Woo!
Okay.
Okay. See, through my headphones, without the YouTube stream on, it's extremely quiet. I can barely hear you, and I have my volume at 75.
Okay, so is that any better?
You sound the same to me.
Okay, so try that.
You sound the same to me.
Wow. Okay, so I might be switching to something other than Streamlabs. Probably have one of the volumes up listening to the stream with that echo.
The volume is lower, but the echo is the same, so you're harder to hear.
Now you got an
Your
echo too,
echo
but now it's
It's
pronounced.
much less but there, and it is there, but Maggie is like, whoa.
Can't have the
Okay.
streams.
Do you want me to hop into StreamYard?
Okay, so is that any better on this end?
I can hear you better on this end.
Okay, just mute the audio for the stream. Okay, is that any better? Maybe? No? I guess not.
I have no change here. On the back end.
Yeah, I closed all of my browsers. Just to be on the safe side. So, yeah.
Okay, there's also a hiss in the background of the YouTube sound, like a fan.
No, I'm not using OBS. I'm just using straight out Streamlabs. The echo is too immediate to be into the browser for sure. It sounds like a mic setting input or output. Okay. Let me play around with some more things.
I'm going to mute my mic.
Okay. So we're going to do monitor. Okay. I'm hearing myself now. Is that any better? I can't see why it would be. You might want to use OBS as opposed to Streamlabs, but you're still getting an echo. You might have an echo on your mic.
Kay says it isn't any better.
Okay, try that. I'm just trying like one little thing at a time just to see. That's it? Okay, so Maggie's good. Okay. How about now? Now I have more echo. This is what Breaking the Block is going to be. Is Tech Gremlins. Great, that's good. Okay. Alright, so now I know the settings. Good lord. Okay.
Wow, that was crazy.
I need to take like a screenshot of that so I know for next time. Yeah, so what I had to do is, for some odd reason, my webcam was also picking up my audio, so I turned the webcam audio off because I finally saw that it was picking it up. So, yeah. Alright, 13 minutes in, almost 15 minutes in, and we finally got the Tech Gremlins taken care of. Oh, gosh. Okay. So, yeah. Coffee. I'm getting coffee.
Ding.
Oh, man. Okay. So, you want to go ahead and do your intro?
Hello, lovelies. Mama Maggie Ward, independent author and stroke survivor, and I have books. The latest will come out on October 10th. It is Windswept Stars, which is the fourth in the Pagosa Stars series, continuing the story of Sheriff Tank Tanner. And he finally gets a love interest and is going to meet someone more broken than he is. And then on the 24th of October, the next in the Relic of Time War series will be out, called The Dauntless Deception.
Nice. All right. So, welcome everybody. Do hate that we have so many things going on. But yeah, from now on, I'll know to go directly into the scheduled stream so that it will pop up in the right place and all that good stuff. There's videos for how to use Streamlabs, and hardly any of them go into sharing links to co-hosts and all that stuff like that, because I like to share my links at least 2 or 3 days beforehand. But apparently, yeah, It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. I'm learning. It's okay. Anyway, I am an author of Romantasy, and welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, we are here to talk about breaking the block or working through writer's block, creative block, things of that nature. So, Maggie, do you have any questions that you want us to talk about? You're muted. There you go.
I was blah. Okay. I was on a chat on Tiffany's stream. She was talking with Mia, and there was a whole bunch of us in the chat talking. I think Kat was there. And we were talking about when you're starting a new book, do you like loose plot the next few books in the series, or do you always start as a standalone?
Well, for me, I loose plot the series just because I'm not a plotter. Period. Plotting to me is like I'm already telling the story. So yeah, my loose plot is for the next book. I will have anywhere between 3 to maybe 10 lines of what I want to happen in that book, and notes on what happened in the first book that's going to affect the second book, which is a lot, but it's notes. But yeah, that's what I do. So yeah.
Eva says, my only series were all intentionally series. Project Ghost was my attempt at Goosebumps meets Babysitters Clubs. It's not at what I just lost the feed.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. No, it's on my end. I'm having internet issues. Okay. It's not that now though.
Okay.
And then short romance concepts all revolve around small towns, as does one mystery premise I have in mind.
Okay.
Hi, Dave. Welcome to the stream. Kay's right. Streamlabs.
Yeah.
I like struggle to write a standalone. I just can't. I'm all the words. Give me all the words. No words left behind. And I just go as much as I can. Ghost with Cats started as one book, ended up 3 books, and I have outlines for 2 more. Crazy Cat Lady started as one book. I've managed to keep it a standalone. The Spartan Chimera started as a standalone, but it's looking like the Nordic Chimera will be a thing. Catpaw says, if by plot you mean a paragraph and a title, which is what I have for book 3 and 4.
Okay.
So, like Relic of Time War started as 30,000 fan fictions. And then I blew up the series, and like the 15th book in the series, I actually wrote as part of the prequel series before I actually wrote the books about the war. So I had events from book 6 through 13 written before I got to those.
Nice. I so my one series that I'm writing right now is in the same world. So I have like what I want to reveal about the world in each book. Like Capture the Empress right now, it's mostly just fire magic that you learn about. And then the next book, well, the third book, I should say, it'll be more about the architecture and how they build things and all that stuff because that main character is interested in that stuff. And the second book is a little bit more about magic and a little bit more about the family and all that good stuff. Alright, so yeah. Apparently I need to pay more attention to Twitch.
I'm going to try something.
Okay.
Yay, we have a chat now.
Awesome. Yeah, I like do this. I'm like, maybe I need to go back to StreamYard and just bite the bullet and pay the obscene price. And yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to, because I miss being able to pop up the chat. So maybe if I learn OBS with Streamlabs, I'll be able to do that. I don't know.
Is StreamYard just completely going away from free streaming?
Every time I go to their website, there's no free option. Like, it automatically just pops up the paid. And the first tier is $45. And the second tier, which is like the team tier or whatever, is like $80 or something like that. So, yeah. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because of the amount you stream.
Yeah, probably.
Because I still have the free option for 12 hours.
Yeah. Because of this breaking the block, my live stream, the random lives that I do, like with AWC and stuff like that, plus the amount of people that I may or may not have up here because of breaking the block, I can't do the free one. But yeah, I just...
Okay, Dave asks, so when you write a story, do you build the world first or just go with it? I start building my universe before actually writing this story as it helped me create the characters. I am a massive world builder. I have like 30 questions you like build into your world. I also have a 30 question character interview. I'm the kind of writer that I have to literally stop myself from the whole world building to actually write the story. Hi, Rita.
So I'm the opposite. Usually when I am writing, I am building the world while I write until I get into some corner and I can't get out of, and it's like, okay, what if this world can magically like rescue me out of this corner? Or I backtrack and see what I wrote of the world that trapped me in that corner, kind of thing. Eva says my stories vary in that way. I tend to start with a plot but prefer character driven stories, so there's a lot of rewrites once I know the characters. Dave says, yeah, I get that. I had to slap my hands to make myself stop building the world. Eva says, I wrote an entire spider den scene without a single spider. Awesome. So whatever that is, that's how I draft. Oh, that's so cool. Again, welcome to those that have come in on either YouTube or Twitch. I might be magically streaming to Facebook too. At this point, who cares? Alright, so here is another question if I can get this to work. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. Eva says the spiders were a side plot / distraction, so they can be added in. I just knew they existed, so I guess world building? I needed the den more than the spiders, yeah. And who knows, maybe an adventure before or whatever got rid of the spiders for you. Right? Right. Excuses. There are always excuses.
Okay, now the chat isn't scrolling. Why is it doing that?
Oh, this is gonna be so much fun learning this. Okay, so yeah. Some of us have, 1 million words on world building.
It's only 50,000. Shut up. It's a 1.4 million word series. I'm allowed to have 50,000 in word building. I'm just going to sit here and sip my coffee.
It's all good. It's all good. Eva says only 50,000. Dave asked another question. Romance. How does that work and how do you know when it's gone too far? I mean, I'm writing sci-fi, not a trashy romance novel. Yeah, go ahead. That's all.
Same. So what I do with my romance in my big sci-fi series and in my contemporary conspiracy series is the romance is the B plot. It stays in the background. There is obvious interaction, chemistry between the characters, but that takes a background to the action and the world that it's happening in. There's a trend right now toward romance / adventure, romance / sci-fi. And basically what they're doing is they're setting a romance novel in the sci-fi world or the fantasy world or the action adventure world, instead of having the action adventure sci-fi romance plot and action points in the story as the main part. So, they call it romantasy, and that kind of is overlapping sci-fi and fantasy that are primary romances and secondary the sci-fi fantasy. But if you're going to have romance as the B plot, be sure it stays the B plot. It says, if you can take out and the main story plot isn't impacted, you can take it.
Yeah. Yeah. So the text on screen is awesome. I know. On the other hand, my pen name is all about the whole, well, it is what it is, erotic fantasy. So there's plot still, but there's also a lot of things on the page, and that is how I write, and that's that genre. So if you're writing sci-fi and it's sci-fi romance where sci-fi is your main genre, if you have the B plot like Maggie said with the romance, then it depends on what you're comfortable with writing as to how far you want to go on that. You don't want to borderline on erotica like I do, but if you have one scene where it's on the page, then that's fine. Sometimes that can get you a little bit more sales. Other times it can kill your sales depending on what you have written before or what you're going to write after. You just stick to you, kind of thing.
Well, a good way to know whether you're writing romantasy, Rome sci-fi, is are you following the romance beats of how much PDA there is? If you're having a smexy time scene every third or fifth chapter, you're not writing action, adventure, sci-fi, fantasy. You're writing romantasy. If you have like a kiss or like a handhold when there's a lull in a scene or right before some big drama thing, that does not push you into the romantasy thing. I have scenes between my assassin and huntsman in Relic of Time Wars where they kiss and it skips to afterwards, and one or the other has to go leave and do some whatever assassin and huntsman do. Kill people. Yes, they kill people a lot. um, then I don't feel like I'm pushing into the romantasy envelope. The problem is with a lot of romantasy is they've taken the billionaire, they've taken the bad boy, and they've substituted space alien or werewolf or vampire or the what is it, the kidnapped, this whole, I don't know what people's deal is with abduction, but this whole I was kidnapped by aliens.
Orcs.
Or orcs. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about the orcs. That's a thing now. The dragons. Bigfoot kidnapped me. Well, that's an Appalachian romance that I found, monster romance that I found, and I was just like, oh, no, no.
Yeah. So basically, it's just how far you want to go.
It grabbed me in its mind powers and shook me like a dog. But which part of you did it grab? Okay, I need more coffee. Yeah, it's. Are you hitting the romance beats? Is it? Can you apply the principles of Save the Cat, Writes a Romance to your sci-fi, your action adventure, your fantasy? If the romance beats are stronger than the action adventure beats, than the fantasy beats, than the sci-fi beats, then you're writing romantasy. But you can have a little bit of romance in the background. Like I have Calith and Daisy, and they've literally been a couple for 500 years. And they do these cute little romantic moments. And then I have the human Moira and the Etherean Bull, who have these like romantic moments, because even though hundreds of years of actual time has passed for Bull, because Moira is the time traveler, it's only been a few years for her. So yeah, they have this interesting discussion. Her and Darcy have an interesting discussion of what it's going to be like when they're 90 years old and their Etherean boyfriends still look like hot 20-somethings. Problems with dating immortals.
Yep.
So for the true romance, it depends on like it depends on how many beats you push and how much on page you have.
Yep. Yep. That's one way to do it. Oh goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Calith is almost 5,000 years older than Daisy. But he has literally, she's jumping back and before she was changed into an Etherean and they got married, she was literally jumping back and forth through time through thousands of years of his life. So they're both adults, so at the time that it all starts, so.
And the thing with that is that I had kind of a scare because of the whole grooming thing and how a lot of books came under attack because a lot of these vampires and werewolves and everything like that can be seen as grooming their changelings, I guess, if you want to call them. And my vampires are 2,000 plus years old, so anybody they meet is going to be years and years and years and years younger than them. So it's like, and then I got to where I just
do you make them an adult when they enter this relationship? See, that was the thing is, when Moira and Vol met for the aging up of their species, they were both still teenagers. And then when they met again, they were both adults.
right.
And they decided to go very, very slow, and they weren't going to move forward with the relationship until the war was over. But now it's taken like 10 years, and they just keep breaking that promise the older they get. So,
No.
it's, yeah.
Like,
Dave says, I did a massive rewrite, mainly because I literally left out a large chunk of the plot. Luckily, I caught it at the beginning. That's good. Eva says, I see it more like dating their food with vampires. Can I date a chocolate cake?
it's, they're playing with their food. No, let's not. The brain is not going to go there. Nope. No.
Vampires are parasites. They're just mosquitoes that sparkle.
Dave says, mine are adults, but they're kind of aliens, so they live longer than humans, so it's hard to say with mine. Yeah. No, Eva, it's not a new story idea. No, we're not. We're not moving to number 54. Out of 53. No, we're not.
No, I'm just glad that I finally finished my Bog Hag anthology and got to send it in.
Same.
Hi, Jenna.
Hey. Yeah, so Maggie had one line, and I swear you're going to have to put it up in a store so that people can have signs of that.
Which? Oh, the cooked flesh never...
Yeah.
Watched flesh never cooks?
Yes, watch skin never cooks.
Watch skin never cooks. Yeah. It's orc skin. She's eating part of an orc.
No.
But the orc is a murderer and a liar and a child killer, so she's justified in eating the orc.
Eva says 54th Street Holiday Vampire short story. No.
Are you saying Santa's a vampire and that's why he's immortal? Wow, that would be a messed up holiday thing. You have to leave a bottle of blood on the mantle of the fireplace to get presents.
He feeds the milk and cookies to whoever he's feeding off of, the elf that's with him, so that the blood can be sweeter. Jesus. No, y'all.
No. And here we go with the world build. Wow.
Terrible. You are terrible. Alright, so Dave's...
See the story writes the blood bank before Christmas. I need coffee. Okay. Back on track.
Yes. Dave says, I've been writing mine for nearly 20 years because so many things came out that sounded similar. I get that. I'm just finally getting down to writing it out now. Awesome. You got this. I believe in you. The world build. Yes, I know. Okay, let's. She said murder mittens. Murder mittens.
The murder mittens.
All right. So here's another question. Do you provide questions for your beta / critique readers, and if so, what are they? We'll get to Eva's question next. um,
I don't. I only ask them. But I'm not very strict on my beta readers. I'm like, just read it through, and if there's something you want to see more of, tell me about it. I do beta reading for others, and literally, I think I got a 100 question thing about one document last year, and it was like so detailed. I was able to get most of the questions done, but there were some questions that I was like, I don't remember this. So,
I usually don't have questions for my beta or critique readers unless there's something that I'm worried is in the story that might need to be tweaked, like Daughter of Blood Gold, for instance. Whenever I get it ready for beta readers, one of my questions is going to be like, is the stuff on the page too much? So yeah. Eva says, 1, what do you think happens next? 2, rate the pacing. 1, as in like a scale of 1 to 5, slow to fast. And number 3, do you want to keep reading? Number 4, favorite character and why? Eva says, not in that order necessarily, but things like that, yeah. A lot of other questions are like, when did you feel like you were nodding off? Like, was the pacing really slow right there? Because some beta readers are not writers, and they don't get the whole maybe word of pacing kind of thing. So you can word it into, when did you feel like you lost interest? When did you feel like you couldn't put the book down? Things like that.
I love that. When I'm beta reading, I usually, I've beta read for you. I comment on every chapter. I'll make comments on character interactions. If I see something that reads a little off, I'll put a comment there. And one of the other things I do as a beta reader is I keep my eye out for repeated words and crutch words, because as writers, those are things that we don't see ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, had that really said, like, actually very yeah.
So
but the other thing with beta reading is, while you need someone outside your genre to read it, understand that their take on the story is not going to be as favorable as someone who reads in your genre. And if you're struggling with like getting feedback from beta readers, first of all, life happens. We all know this. But second of all, some people, if they start beta reading something for you and then they just stop and don't want to read anymore, it just might be because that story's not their cup of tea.
Right.
And it's not necessarily a reflection on you as a writer, but just ask them, where did you stop and why?
Yeah. And if you have several beta readers or several critique partners and they all stop at the same point, that's when you know kind of that you probably need to change some things up. If it's just one or two, use your best judgment. But I know.
Honestly,
Go ahead.
I use Inkt as my beta, one of my alpha reading things, because I figure, I've got a couple thousand people that can read through a document and leave comments, and that, that that's just what because I started on Wattpad and Ingot, that's what I do now. And I will leave my rough drafts up. I will pull down all but like 10 chapters when I publish, and then like 2 years later, when I'm past that Amazon window of getting in trouble with Kindle Unlimited and KDP, I will pop the rough draft um, chapters back up, because I'm sorry, I'm on a lot of migraine medicine this morning.
You're fine.
I'll put my chapters back up, because I know not everyone can afford a Kindle.
Right.
Or KDP and Kindle Unlimited, and so I leave my rough drafts up for free.
Right. Let's see. Eva says, I've only used experienced beta readers or writers to beta. I have alpha readers that are more fluent readers. Many fear confrontation, and many authors do not take feedback well, so it's easier to ghost. Yeah. That instinct to explain why someone's feedback is wrong, so cringe. Yeah. Rita says, or maybe the beta reader is a slow reader and you missed the deadline to finish it. That's understandable. And that's kind of... Go ahead.
My migraines have made me really slow on my beta reading right now. I'm still going through Devon's The Witch's Mirror.
I get so distracted. Like, if somebody hands me a beta read and it's all in Google Doc, or I download it on my Kindle or something like that, I get so distracted when it's an ebook. And I don't know why that is. So I'm a lot slower with that. But as far as like ARC reads go, I can knock them out in no time, because I have usually the physical book in my hands sometimes.
I prefer getting Google Docs when I'm beta reading, or even Word docs. Well, Google Docs I can convert into a Word doc, because then I can have the computer read it to me while I'm physically reading it. And I actually catch a lot more when I'm doing that. I don't like doing beta reads on Story Origin, because it makes it harder to jump back and forth between chapters. And I hate the fact that I can't change the font to something that is better suited for my brain.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
You can change the size of the font, but you cannot change the font. And it's this very non-Cyrillic font. So there's like, it's like the very basic font that you get on any computer. So the letters are very narrow and very kind of smooshy together.
Like Tahoma or something like... Well...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Caprian? I'm not sure. What is that font? Hold on.
Calibri is...
Calibri.
Yeah, very... That's like Word's automatic...
Calibri font. Or Abadi.
Yeah.
Aptos Lite. That's what it looks like.
Oh, no.
I hate that font. Sorry, I just opened up a Word document just so I could look at the list of fonts.
Alright, Dave says, just getting someone to read something to see if the words are spelled right, because blah. It's like pulling teeth. I get that. A lot of people use... I don't know how you feel about using AI-assisted programs. But a lot of people use Grammarly, which is free, and it's very good on catching misspelled words and some things with grammar, like punctuation and things like that. I use Pro Writing Aid, and I love it, but yeah, you have to pay for it.
I have a Grammarly plugin that goes with my MS Word Office subscription. So I can run it through MS Word Editor, then I can run it through Grammarly, and I also will copy it into Google and run it through Google Docs. The reason I like using MS Word for my editing is because I can program in my fantasy names, my sci-fi names, and it will catch them and say, "Did you mean this word or this word you added to the dictionary?" So that allows me to go through and find places where I misspelled character names and switch them to my fantasy or sci-fi spelling.
Nice. I like that. Hey,
Rita's
Rita.
the same. Grammarly and I have a tumultuous relationship.
Cat Paw says, I'm not very good at beta. My brain too happily fill in the details I ought to point out. Yeah. Um, Eva says, it's also why I stopped asking writer friends to beta because of the pressure to return the favor. I haven't needed a beta this year yet, but I will next year, and I intend to pay them off of Fiverr. Jenna says, sadly, some beta reader swap services are way not accessibility friends. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that thing with beta swapping is I uh, swapped How to Become a Crazy Cat Lady, and I think I got 2 feedbacks on it. And then with Chimera, well, you got back to me, and like 2 other people got back to me of the 15 that got copies of it. And I understand there was like 4 people that got back to me, and they were like, "Look, I'm sorry, my life is blown up. I can't do your beta read." And I was like, "Fine, I understand completely. My brain blows up on me, so yeah." Um, it's just it's a weird struggle finding people, but there are groups on Facebook um, that are always looking to share beta reads and stuff like that. Just be aware that if you're sharing outside like your writerly circle, people you know, like that know, that you might not get anything back.
Yeah. Um, Not to put the fear in y'all, but just prepare to try to get like 10 beta readers so that you have 3 that actually get back to you. That's that is what it is.
Yeah.
Um, Dave says that he's allowed to change fonts in Story Origin, but it's not very many. Um,
See, when I pull up the font part on Story Origin, it gives me, because I'm using it on a laptop and not on device, it only gives me font size and column width. That's the only things it lets me change. It might be different if you're on the app, but because I'm going through a laptop,
I always forget about Story Origin, so
yeah.
Eva says Word is what I use prior to letting Word's payment lapse. I haven't proofread in a minute because the spell check on any regular writer is not good enough. Yeah.
I liked Apache Write, but they haven't updated their grammar or their spell checker in a hot minute, so
Yeah. I know a lot of things like if you use Scrivener or Dabble or AutoCrit's writing programs, they have built in either Grammarly or ProWriting Aid. So they usually have more in depth things that you can study in your writing. But yeah. Eva says, I don't like using people I know because when they get back late or with a missing file, it hurts my feelers more than when a stranger does. Yeah, I get it. Oh no, we were talking about story origin, Dave. Um, Google Docs has a good amount of fonts, but not as many as like Word. Well, no, Google Docs usually has a pretty good
Google
amount.
Docs has like um, 25 basic fonts, and you can add a plugin that'll give you like 100 more fonts.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So,
Substack does not really have a proofreader. The proofreader comes in through whatever the
your
what is
web
it? What
browser.
it, Google, whatever your web browser is.
Yeah.
Um, so if you have the editing enabled through your web browser, it'll pop up in Google Docs
Yeah.
and or in Substack. But I haven't seen that pop up in any other way.
Yeah. Like I have Pro Writing Aid plugin, and it reads my emails and helps me correct them, and just everything that I pop up in Google Chrome or what is that called now? Microsoft Edge. They, yeah, it's changed names so much it's hard to keep up with. Type in Word or Docs, copy and paste into Substack. Yeah. Cat Paw asks, how do you get on with Google Docs? Do it chapter by chapter, because I found that a 300-page doc just keeps crashing.
Google Docs hates big documents.
Yeah.
Um, for because I always write 90 to 120,000 word books. Even anything that is over 40,000 words crashes and burns. So you have to break it up into increments. Unfortunately, because of the way it's an online thing, you put something big in it and it starts freaking out.
I'll apologize for the snoring and the sneezing in the background.
It's a papa. Rita says, for me, Google Docs, I use separate doc for each chapter. Dave, I think one time I put part of a chapter through Copilot once, corrected the spelling errors, and sectioned it.
Yeah.
Jenna says, Docs and Word have RAM memory limits. Yeah. Word, as much as I love using Word, as much as I'm old school and used it for a long time, when I open the Relic of Time All document, the fan in my computer starts buzzing. My computer feels like it's vibrating. It is like, oh.
Yeah. Huh. That would explain some things.
Cat Paw types in OpenOffice and copies to YWriter. Use OpenOffice 2. Jenna says their word counters get inaccurate around 35K or more. If you have a device with low RAM, it's worse. My Word hasn't crashed on me, but it does make everything else move slower.
Yes.
Yeah. You open the big docs because I like to put all of my series in one giant document.
No.
There's a reason that I have an internal terabyte drive.
Yeah. Man. I know for a fact that Google Docs will crash a lot if you have a 250,000 word document in it. So my rule of thumb is you break it up at 30,000 words, wherever that is. Just because. Word, on the other hand, it's been fine so far, even with a 250,000 word document, so we're good.
Yeah, if you're looking for places to save your files, it's always good to have a back place, because I went through a thing a few years ago where my laptop literally went pop and died. So I lost 3 months worth of work. And the reason I lost 3 months worth of work wasn't because I wasn't backing up. I do back up weekly. but my terabyte drive had a bad sector on it. And everything saved for like 3 months in that bad sector was just X's. The characters were just X's. It was a nightmare. So, I recommend everybody, if you don't have a cloud account, go ahead, create a zip file, shrink your file down as small as you can get it, and create yourself a secondary author email account and email yourself your documents. That is an excellent way to store it. You can also save them in Google Docs because you are allowed a certain amount of storage in Google Docs. So you can send yourself your own documents. And also, where are they? Oh, I don't have it. I don't have it in here. I have this thing that allows me to put SD chips into my laptop. You can buy them like 64 gigabyte chips from Walmart for like $10-12. That is a good way to like put an entire series on one chip and then put that in a safe place. Because then you have like, and I was looking for a scene that got deleted from a book, and I did not realize it had been seeded. The scene had been deleted. And I ended up going back like 2.5 years to find this scene. So you could, when the Black Friday sales and the Cyber Monday sales hit, take advantage, get you a terabyte drive.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the funds to spend like $100 on a terabyte drive, get the SD cards, put your writing on those. And they're just little tiny things about that big. But having that a backup of a backup of a backup will save you a lot of pain and suffering if something happens.
Yeah. I email myself the document every 3 days. I save it in Word, I save it in Google Docs, and I also save it on my terabyte drive that is off the computer, which is currently missing because my husband used a desk for a meeting the other day and he's shoved it somewhere. But yeah, the Toshiba 2 terabyte external is less than $100 right now. That's a really good deal.
Yeah. See, I have a Seagate.
Yeah.
Which I have actually filled up. Believe it or not, I have filled up my Seagate drive. I'm going to have to get another one. But I have monthly files of progress of active works and backups of non-active works going back to 2020 on this OneDrive.
Dang.
Plus, I have my SD cards for all of my series. So, yeah, as writers, I can honestly say one of the most crippling things you can go through is to suddenly lose all of your backups.
Yeah.
And so, it's good to have a physical backup. It's good to have a digital backup. And here's something that I tell a lot of writers, and this sounds like just like crazy paranoid thing, but do this. If you're on Amazon already, if you've already got a book or two published on Amazon like I do, you have the ability to create a book file that is literally just rough drafts. And you can print yourself out a copy of your book, say your second or third draft, and it's like $5 or $6. If you go to a printing group like Quickie Print or Kinko Print or something like that, and you ask them, I need a print and bound copy of my book, you're looking at $30, $40, $50. If you print it at home, you're buying $50 worth of ink and a ream of paper to print your book at home. But if you go through Amazon's back end and you print yourself a proof copy of your rough draft. Now you keep the title stays the same, but you can change the subtitle line. And you never have to publish this book on Amazon. This is not, the point is not publishing this book on Amazon. The point is printing out a rough draft of your book so you can have an actual physical copy to go with your virtual copies on the cloud, your email copies sitting in an inbox somewhere, and your digital copies saved on your computer, your terabyte drive, your SD card.
Let's see. Good morning, Sky. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Eva's prints hers too. She also uploads it to Notion. That's another thing that you can do. Sky says, I need to figure out a new saving system because my tablet and computer don't sync together as often or as fast as I'd like. Ugh. Cat Paw says, I email once a week, thumb drives left and right and center, an external and a cloud backup, end of the day. Yes. Rita says, my daily writing goes directly into Dropbox. Nice. Cat Paw says, I lost a HD worth of everything when it popped and died. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. HD evidently has this thing where their batteries will just go and take out the memory board and everything inside the computer. Like you can't even recover the memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love my HPs. I really do. I've been an HP loyalist for 2 decades. It's, yeah. They have severe overheating issues. And like the latest one that I've got started overheating within a month of when I got it. And it's been in twice. I'm about to have to send it in again. And the HD I had before this, I sent in to be worked on 5 times in 2 years. So,
yeah.
HP.
I had a Dell that died, and I pulled the actual hard drive out so that I could hook it up to my desktop or laptop or whatever and run it, because it's still good. It was just everything else in the laptop. My HP, I can't do that with. I lost everything that was on there. I had a lot of pictures and stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, I love the speed of the Intel processors, but that, especially with my giant documents, but their tendency to crash and burn.
Yeah. Dave says he has a gaming PC. Yes. Yes. I built my own desktop. Well, I didn't build it. I told them what I wanted and they built it, my friend and my husband. So but yeah. Catpal says, I love SSDs. It's been a game changer living in the tropics. Yes, got a Lenovo now. Lenovo's are okay. Toshiba's are good. Video card is out in that tower. I also don't remember what's on that hard drive. Oh no.
Yeah, I got my daughter a Google laptop, one of those little small tablet laptops for school. And I am really thinking about that. I'm going to take, now that she's like graduated and she's decided that college is not for her. She doesn't want that debt. She's real funny about that. She's funny about being in debt. She's one of those who pays off her credit card every month and bought an old pickup truck. We got her an old pickup truck, and she is willing to put the money and work into it to keep it running than have a car payment. She just, the idea of being in debt is just like completely like, no. So yeah.
It could be a good thing though.
She's one, and she's also that Gen Alpha that everything is on her phone. Her whole life is on her phone and her backup phone.
Sky says, I'll always stand by Asus. I absolutely hate the Chromebooks. Yeah. Dave says, I used to beta test games until companies switched to the buy the game cheap while we make it yeah, we're not going to go into that.
I miss gaming. I haven't been able to game since my stroke. I can't even keep myself alive in Minecraft easy.
No. Minecraft, I don't know what it is, but whenever my anxiety is high, I cannot play Minecraft. Just the mobs get me every time my anxiety is kind of the least bit high, and I'm like, okay, we're going to do this when I'm sane again.
Yeah, I've been watching them like re-release games from before my stroke, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
like they re-released Echo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus. I want It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I'll watch my children play.
Yeah.
Like I've watched the middle and the youngest both play through the latest 4 Zelda games.
Let's see, Dave says, I just acquired rheumatoid arthritis, but the meds work, and I can game and type and paint, so I'm happy. Nice. I hope that stays that way for a while for you. Cat Paw says, Asus is made by TP-Link, right? I got their phone. 6 years old, and it's still great. Interesting. Alright, cool. Yeah, I'm trying out Streamlabs. We had some issues starting off.
Interesting issues.
So, you did a stream with Streamlabs here recently, didn't you, Margaret? Let me know how that went for you. Hopefully you didn't. Hopefully you didn't have all the things that we did.
That was a few days ago or yesterday. What is today? Today is Sunday, so that would have. That
Friday.
Was 2 days ago.
Yeah, just had my first try Friday. Today is number 2. Awesome. What are the squirrels at the bottom? Okay, so the squirrels at the bottom are a overlay that I have been playing around with because I downloaded it from somebody else. A lot of the things stopped working on it. Hence why the squirrels are just kind of hanging around a box. But I thought squirrels would be awesome for breaking the block because we always get, off on tangents and yeah. Margaret says, I haven't tried an overlay yet, but it looked complicated. Most of them are good. The free ones are easier to work with. Whenever you get into the ultra ones, that's when they get a little bit hanky. Margaret says no guess, so it was fine. Dave says, I haven't streamed since 2018 when I left for Southeast Asia to do artwork for a couple of companies. Ooh, nice. Sky says, Cat Paw, I don't remember who made it. All I know is that the last one I had was 13 plus years and it still worked. I just couldn't handle what it just couldn't handle what I needed it to. Yeah. Okay. Do we want to get to a fun question?
All right. Does anyone have a final question for today? We're kind of flying by the seat of our broom today.
Yeah. A little bit.
Hi, Emma.
Hey. Thank you for booping the like button. Oh. Dave says, I hate storyboarding, but it paid, sort of. Just misjudged what currency they were paying me in. Oh, yeah. Eva says, I'm going to do a taco thing and then spirit of Halloween today. Woohoo! Tacos and ghosts. That's my day.
Hubby and I are going to go aspen chasing today.
Nice.
It's just us. We're having this weird thing with the eldest off. She's literally booked through next March, dog sitting.
Oh wow.
She's got like 10 days off between now and next March. Because she stays in people's homes and sits their dogs. So people want someone in their house and they want their dogs there. So that's what she does. And then the youngest has moved in with her boyfriend slash fiance.
Okay.
He keeps trying to put a ring on it. She says we need to be together for a year first. So hubby and I are now empty nesters. So we're enjoying it.
Good.
We're getting to do all the things without the constant mom and dad. Although he did take the youngest off on Friday to go have a daddy-daughter day. Because he is that doting daddy.
Nice. Let's see. Cat Paw says, I have no plans beyond more coffee and breakfast. I get that. Sky says, sorry for joining so late, but thanks for streaming. No worries. You got here whenever you needed to. Have the first 4-H meeting of the new year later today. Nice. Dave liked both here and Twitch. Awesome. Rita says, I need to majorly clean my house today. Awesome. See, here's another thing. So, you see the little new subscriber thing, whatever? That is another completely different download that I did. So, yeah, it's playing around with things.
Things that pop up right here. We have sentences that appear right here. And then little things that pop up here.
Yeah.
And these little things down here.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you for subscribing. So this right here, I know it's all fun and games, but what do you do when you're the opposite of blocked and have 54 ideas? You can still get blocked when you have 54 ideas.
Let's ask Sky, Miss 84. Because she just went from 83 projects to 84 projects. I love you, Sky.
If I do the Santa vampire, it's going to be 54.
Sorry. I can't say anything because, well, I have my folders and my virtual folders of story seeds, and I just even know there are places you're not supposed to put candy canes. Don't. Okay.
Challenge accepted. I'm not going to. I don't. No, I'm 53 projects. Putting blinders on.
I cannot say anything because I have my publishing through 2025 already published, already planned. All the books that I'm going to publish, the editing that I'm going to do. 2025, I am going to get back to writing because I am hoping in the fourth quarter of this year is my edit palooza. I am going to try to everything I have outstanding for editing. I'm going to try to do so that first quarter next year I can get back to writing because I have the Gargoyle Queen that I have to finish. I have Cowboy a la carte that I have to finish. I have Ink and Cacao that I have to finish. And those are the three major projects that have been started and have literally just been sitting there, just getting a few chapters added a quarter for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I have all of my stuff that the new books to start.
Let's see. Sky says I might have to download Streamlabs. Yeah. Just don't get aggravated with it like I do. You'll be fine.
Margaret says, I haven't downloaded the desktop version yet, just trying the interface in the browser.
Yeah.
Yeah. The speed of internet that you have where you are affects how well Streamlabs works for you.
It does. Sky's projects are actually in the hundreds. Sky says, but with so many story ideas, I honestly never get blocked. I might get stuck on a story and switch to another, but I never get blocked the way most people do. Yeah.
I already have my next 12 projects. I have basics, blurb outline, characters built, word count plan, character interviews done for my next 12 projects.
Yeah. My notebook is actually in the living room, but all of my future projects are listed in it. Right now, what I have listed here on my project board is just 24 of them. And that will carry me on into 2026. So, yeah. What I'm going to focus... there's actually a video going up here in a little bit talking about what I'm going to focus on for this quarter. But lowdown is I'm going to be editing 2 books, and I'm going to be writing on 1 of 4. Not at the same time, but, you know, whenever I get stuck on one, I'll switch, kind of thing. And then I am going to downgrade from uploading 2 videos a week down to 1 video a week on YouTube, just so I have that extra hour and a half to 3 hours to write.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Margaret says that's not ideal. Yeah. Cat Paw says, I just want to finish our Andino so I can move on to something else. I get that. Margaret says, okay for me, but pretty unequal. Dave says, I get stuck, I play a video game, or paint a couple of pieces, or both. Yes. Eva says, my next project is Spirit of Halloween and making my front yard look its best. It's the best season for ugly arts. Yes. See you later, Eva. Hope you have fun. And Sky says, all of my projects are in Notion, switching from paper logs to digital logs. Yeah. Margaret says, I'm discontinuing Wednesday's stream slot except for bi-weekly wrap-ups. Okay. Yeah. YouTube, well, videos usually don't take very long for me, but there are some that, like I say, take like 3 hours. Rita says hi to Margaret, and Margaret says you could pry paper from my cold dead hands.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have digital copies of everything, but I also I am old school. I need that tactile paper.
Yep.
And also the joy of tearing up my posties when I finish a project.
Right. Yeah, I tried to go all digital and it didn't work. So now I'm still between digital and paper. It's half and half. So here we go. Dave says, usually in streams I'm a comedian, but you may look a little serious at times. Yeah. Catpaw says, paper. I think on paper, can't do digital planning. I understand. Sky says, I still handwrite some things. It just gets transcribed to the computer eventually. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Crumple and toss. It's so satisfying.
It's
so satisfying.
All right. So, maybe next time we'll start on time, and there will be a better layout kind of thing going on and whatnot, because I'm going to study a little bit more on this. Oh man. So do you want to do an outro?
I'm Mama Maggie Ward, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine sufferer. I write things and try to share with everyone all the mistakes I have made because I did everything wrong.
All right. Thank you everybody for showing up. We will be here next Sunday for another Breaking the Block episode. And it's going to be a lot of fun, just like this one. And hopefully it will be very informative as well. And thank you again for joining us.